highlight the various IT initiatives in your department?
You see, in the Food Supply and Consumer Welfare Department in state of Odisha, we have initiated several initiatives, basically on two activities, that is the PDS and the procurement. Ours is a decentralized procurement state where we procure about 45 to 55 lakh tons of paddy every year from about 8 lakh farmers and at 3,000 odd mandis, and it is milled at 1,300 plus millers across the state and is delivered to about 300 rice receiving centers where we square up the paddy given to the millers. Now, all these things means that we have to have a huge operation in terms of logistics, and also a huge amount of funds are involved, which is to the tune of 7,000 crores a year, and with the minimum support price rising every year, this amount is going up every year. And all this fund is actually is from the commercial banks at interest range between 10 to 11% at present, and may change depending on the interest rate in the country. So we need to have a focused flow of funds, so that targeted flow, so that no mandi or society suffers because of lack of funds and the paddy is not being procured from the farmers, which may create situations where farmers may come to road and create law and order situation. So to obviate that, we started with mobile governance applications where we tracked procurement, daily procurement at mandis in 2011, and it has been going on quite well, and that has helped us to monitor the fund flow and ensure that farmers are not harassed by delay in procurement and due to lack of funds at the society or the mandi level. But now we have started also transaction-based systems, putting computers and internet at the mandis, and so that to track all transactions of procurement. So this has helped in practically knowing every transaction. We can track each farmer now. Previously we were able to track the fund flow to a mandi or a society, but now we can track each farmer, but this is only in 10 blocks out of 314, and we hope to expand it to 60 in the next Kharif season. But these 60 blocks are procuring about 60% of the paddy in the state. So these are all high procuring blocks we have selected, and the process is on to implement the paddy procurement automation system, PPAS, in these blocks. So these are the two initiatives which we are taking in procurement. In PDS we have taken a few initiatives, which is running is the supply chain management system. We have these rice receiving centers who also develop as departmental storage centers, from where we supply rice, wheat to the fair price shops. And these shops we are computerizing. We have computerized and also put an application called supply chain management system. Based on the monthly allocation, the fair price shop dealers, they deposit the funds either through bank draft or online, and the foodstuff is supplied through vehicles and is delivered at the doorstep of the vendors. So this system we have implemented. We started in 2012, but now we have covered about 150 of the 250 mandis that are operating these departmental storage centers. So 250 depots, which are doubling up as departmental storage centers, are and rice receiving centers. We want to computerize all of them in over next 6 to 8 months and put the entire supply chain management online. Next on our target is digitization of ration cards, which is a huge project by itself, where we hope to identify priority household to the extent of 75 lakh families in the state, and then give them ration cards and link them to the fair price shops and implement the National Food Security Act. So this is a project in the making, and we hope to implement it by next July, the complete digitization of the entire state. We are doing it in phases. First phase is just under way. We want to implement by January the first phase, by April the second phase, and the last phase by July. Hopefully, once we do that, we can also go for tracking transactions at the fair price shops by point of sale devices, because these ration cards will be barcoded, and at the end, back end we will link the Aadhaar also, so that biometrics can also be utilized for authentication of the beneficiaries. So these are the two initiatives which are in the making, and we have also tried that in a pilot basis in one district with the support of World Food Program in Raigada district, and we hope that the experience will help us in scaling up to the entire state. And lastly, under the PDS, we have this transparency portal where we want to put everything on the web. We have put a lot of information on the net, but we want to make it a little more interactive, where it will have it can cater to the various modes of grievances, either through letters or through SMS or through emails, etc. So make it multimodal, and so as to cater to a higher percentage of our beneficiaries and consumers.
Yeah. So, sir, all these e-governance initiatives that are on the page, what are your views on adopting latest technology such as cloud or maybe such related technology in order to make the process more efficient?
Actually, our applications, we plan to put them in our state data center, which is also being linked to cloud. As such, we are not thinking of using commercial cloud space at present, and our data center has space at present. But yes, cloud is something which we can actually think, but then I believe the state data center is also becoming cloud enabled, and all the state data centers will be integrated by the Government of India initiative. So at present we are not really thinking of hiring out space in the cloud of providers by commercial organizations.
Yeah. So, sir, what are the policy level initiatives you are thinking of bringing in recent times?
You see, implementing the National Food Security Act, which has been enacted by Government of India last year, is one of the major tasks, and our major focus at present is to ensure that it is implemented as early as possible, because we have already passed 1 year, which was the timeline given in the Act. So policy level, we want to use technology for weeding out excluded families by integrating the exclusion criteria. For example, if somebody has a car, that family should not be identified as a BPL or priority household. But today there is no mechanism to check that. So we are using particular tool given by IBM as a proof of concept, and we find it quite useful that they can integrate the databases of various exclusion criteria like the income tax pays or vehicle owners or government servants, and make it quite interesting for us. So, and also it can be made a dynamic as like as soon as somebody who is a priority household and buys a car, then or pays income tax, then that family is automatically excluded from the database, and we can send an alert to that person as to that now you are no more a priority household. So that kind of technology we are thinking to use, and at policy level there is agreement to use that.
So, sir, thank you for being with us at the conference. How has your experience been, and what do you look forward to in these conferences? How do you think it benefits?
It's a basically exchange of knowledge and new technologies that are coming up, and we get to learn about that, and it's quite a good experience, and I find it very useful.